the show off talking about a show that just recently returned, came out last year, and all the chips in the world were against it. The reviews were bad.
Did it get bad reviews?
Initially bad reviews.
Okay.
The tone of the show from the trailers and from what you... So we're talking about the Orville. Okay, I don't want to get too far into that. The Seth MacFarlane Star Trek, and John will argue, is it an homage or is it his own show? Seth MacFarlane grew up...
as an homage.
It's an homage for sure. It feels like you're watching a Next Generation episode.
It feels like Next Generation, yeah.
Okay.
Only with a little more comedy.
That was the thing. So when it came out and you saw the previews for it, the first thought is this going to be nothing but dick and fart jokes in space, a la Family Guy? But then you have to think about MacFarlane's movie career, particularly Ted. Ted is a dick and fart joke movie, kind of wrapped up in a nice little relationship story.
Right.
And it works. I mean, Ted, the first...
It's a good movie.
The second Ted is not very funny. The first Ted is really good. And even A Million Ways to Die in the West, which doesn't work ultimately, is a pretty good movie. Because it balances a serious plot with some pretty good humor.
All right.
So the Orville comes out last year, and I wasn't going to watch it. And I don't know if it was John watched an episode and said to me, oh, I watched an episode and it wasn't as bad as I thought. Or if I heard someone else, so I came home one night and it's on Hulu.
Yeah.
I don't have cable, it's on Hulu. So I said to myself, watch an episode. First 2 episodes I watched and I went, I like it, but it's not getting me there yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then I continued with the series through the whole thing, and I really enjoyed it, and I actually actively was sad when it ended.
When it was over.
I was like, damn, that sucks. There's not a lot of shows that I watch year by year.
Yeah.
And
there's none that I do anymore. No, not network TV.
There's a few. There's a few. I mean, 1 or 2, but that was one of them.
And by the way, I didn't come to it until after you had already been into it for those few episodes, and you recommended it.
Right. Yeah, I think I told you.
So I started watching it, and yeah, I got hooked too.
Yeah, I mean, it's got likable characters. It's got a really good cast, and the stories are a lot of times very interesting.
I like the cast. You're right. It's got a good cast, and if I can remember the names of the cast of the people, then it's got me.
Yeah.
That's it. And I know the names of these guys, so.
The one I always forget is the engineer who I like a lot. What's his name? John?
John.
Yeah, okay, it is John. He's a great character. There was an episode in the first season where he's like in the first season he starts off as a kind of like a co-helmsman, and then you suddenly find out that he's like genius level intellect, but he doesn't want anybody to know because he doesn't want to be considered smart.
He's got a reputation.
He has a reputation to uphold, and they've done stuff like this. There was an episode in the first season that was entirely about the doctor character and the robotic character
and
Isaac crashing on a planet, and the whole episode was about Isaac's bond with Claire's 2 little kids. There was nary a joke in it.
And you know what?
It was really fucking good.
I think it was the first episode here, or possibly the second one, where they have another relationship.
Yes.
Like with throughout the actions in the show, Claire and Isaac sort of have this sort of bond.
Ever since that episode, which was probably in the first 5 of the first season, that's one of the things I like about it, is that it's not like a one and done. They've established that now Isaac and her seem like they're kind of close.
They're going to continue storylines.
Right, the storyline goes along. So now we've come back with season 2. I've only seen the first 2 episodes. You've gone to 3.
Right.
I've enjoyed the first 2 episodes. I will say the first 2 episodes surprisingly revolved heavily around the character of Bortus.
Correct.
And again, you have these ridiculous situations, but the episodes still stand on their own. So the first episode is entirely about Bortus is a Mochlin.
Jaloja.
Yeah,
I say that now when I pee.
Jaloja. And the entire episode revolves around, or at least the core of the episode revolves around the fact that as a Mochlins only urinate once a year.
Right.
And when it's his time, he has to go back to a place he picked as a kid, and he has to urinate, and he has to
bring his loved ones.
He brings loved ones, so he asks everybody on the ship to go with him, and that's the basis of the episode. The rest of the episode is basically about how relationships work. Right. Jealousy, trying to start a new relationship with Scott Grimes. What's his name? Gordon. Who's trying to impress? He's trying to impress the new girl on the ship.
New cartographer Janelle.
With his jacket with a million zippers on it.
How do you like this one? I think it needs one more.
One more zipper. And that's what's great about the show. Again, there's a lot of seriousness to it. Meanwhile, the humor is interjected.
No, you know.